guys, it's Jennifer and welcome back to my Flagstaff home. I am here today to tell you about the new raised bed gardens that I put in my backyard. So before I get into this, I hope you will like this video and subscribe to my channel for more great home related content. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about why you might consider using a raised bed garden, a couple of kinds of raised bed gardens that I've used in the past that I have ended up deciding not to use in the future, and then what I actually put in this year at my house, and I'm going to show you how to put it together. So you may want to choose a raised bed garden for a couple of reasons. Now, the kind of raised bed I am not talking about in this video is the kind that is up on legs and that keeps you from having to bend over to garden. That is a whole different kind of garden. What I'm talking about is the kind that sits on the ground and then it does not have a bottom on it. You fill it with soil, and then when your plants grow, they are absolutely growing in the soil in your garden bed, but their roots can also go down into the natural soil below it. So why would you choose a raised bed? Well, there are a few reasons. If you live in a place where the soil is not hospitable to having a garden, then absolutely. And I live in an area where the ground is very rocky. I mean, you'll be digging and find a boulder. And so it would be very difficult for me to till the ground and create a nice garden. So this way I can have a garden that sits a foot above the ground and I can put nice, good soil in there. You also might live in an area where your soil is just kind of poor soil. It doesn't have a lot of good nutrients for plants. And so you might choose that. Another reason why you might choose a raised bed is because by using soil that you bring into your garden, like from a nursery or something, you're going to reduce the number of weed seeds that get into your garden. A lot of times when you just start digging into your garden, you end up with a ton of weeds. So if you're okay with that and you're fine with weeding, then, maybe you don't need this. So up until this one kind of garden bed that I'm going to explain to you here, there were two others that I had chosen in the past. One of them was these boards that looked like wood, but they're actually sort of a plastic material, kind of like what Trex deck material is kind of made of. It was it made for a pretty shallow garden. It was probably only 6 inches high. And these boards fit into these end pieces. They kind of slid in. It was really easy to set up. And then you fill it up with dirt. Well, the thing I didn't like about that was that after these plastic kind of boards had been in the elements for a while, they kind of started to get wonky. So, with sun exposure and then the soil getting wet and expanding and then drying and contracting, the boards kind of got a little bit warped and then started coming out of the corner pieces. And so I had to replace some of the gardens periodically. And so I just decided not to go with that again. Another one I tried was wood. It was specifically made of cedar, and I wanted to make sure that it would not rot. Now, cedar is a good kind of wood that resists rotting, but I wanted to kind of seal it by painting on some kind of sealer. So I found a sealer that I could use that wasn't toxic, that wasn't going to put toxins into the soil and affect the plants. But it took so long to do that, to paint all of the pieces of the boards and then let them dry out and then put it all together. And I just did not want to go through that again. So the one I'm putting in this year is actually made of a galvanized metal. And I'm linking that for you in the space below where I got this on Amazon. They come in 3 different sizes. There's an 8-foot by 4-foot, 8-foot by 2-foot, and 6 feet by 3 feet. And then they're all 1 foot high. I watched several videos about how to put these together. And some people were talking about how tricky it was to put together and that it took a really long time. But I watched one guy's video and man, he had it down. And this is the method that my husband used when he put them together. So I'm going to explain that to you. So when you put this together, you kind of overlap the pieces and line up these holes so you can hook the sections together. And there's a nut and a bolt that goes into each hole. And so the people who were having a hard time with it were sort of holding the nut up to one side and then screwing in the bolt from the other side. And it was kind of feeling loose and floppy, and it, you know, they were just having a lot of trouble with it. The guy who really had it down, he put the bolt in first, attached the nut to the bolt, and then took a drill that had kind of a drill bit on it that was, you know, to go around a nut, and he just zipped it right on. So it was crazy. And that's what my husband did. And I thought that he was going to ask me to help him, and he didn't. And he got each of the garden beds put together, unpacked the box, took off all the plastic, put everything together, and did the whole thing probably in about 30 minutes for each garden bed. So let's go out into my backyard and take a look. Okay, these are the materials for one 8-foot by 4-foot raised bed. And so in this video right here, my husband has put in the bolts, and then he attached the nut to the end, and then he just takes his drill and zips the bolt right on. So it really is not that difficult. So here is the final product, how it looks. So the only thing left is to fill it up with soil, and then you have your really nice garden. If you're wondering what those red things are in there, they're called walls of water. I have a video I'm linking for you right here so that you can find out how you can extend your growing season, even if the weather might suggest that you can't. So I hope I will see you again on my Flagstaff home. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.